Bitcoin's price has printed a very important signal that I absolutely need all of you to see, because historically, when this signal has printed, some crazy things have happened very soon afterwards. And so in today's video, we're going to go over exactly what the signal is, what signal it just printed, and exactly what has happened historically when it's gone off. And so without further ado, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. So over the last week or so, Bitcoin's price has been absolutely nuking to the downside, falling from 125K all the way down to 103K. Now, as this pullback has been happening, I've told you all consistently, like, listen, I know this is concerning and I know it's very worrying, but I still think this is an opportune moment for the market to find some support, reverse and rally back to the upside, and give us some gains. I'm not falling into this trap of everyone screaming and thinking that the bear market is here. I'm not following into the trap of thinking that Bitcoin will only go down from here. I still think there is definitely opportunity for Bitcoin to recover, find some relief, and maybe even push up towards an all-time high. And I've told you I'll be on the lookout for signals and signs of this, and I'll tell you if I see any. Well, yesterday I was on a live stream and I was checking out some of my different indicators and signals that I like to use when I'm doing my daily analysis. And I saw one signal print that I've not seen in over a month. And again, historically, when this signal goes off, things get nuts. Now, the signal that we're going to be talking about today is the Crusader signal, and I will leave a link to it down below. I have an affiliate link if you want to check it out, but this is not a paid video. This is not a sponsored video. This is a signal that I use every single day. And what we can see is that the Crusader signal just printed off a buy strength 1 signal, which is one of the very first times it's gone off since August of this year. So over a month and a half now. And what we can see is that this buy strength 1 signal triggered just yesterday whenever Bitcoin fell right to around $103,000. Now, the reason this is so important is because this signal and indicator identifies moments of opportune reversal. It locates these moments where the price of an asset, Bitcoin in this example, is getting overextended to the downside, and that bullish signals and divergences are all starting to print, showing that the bulls are stepping in and slowing down this move. And historically, when this indicator locates these sorts of moments, it has a pretty solid success rate. For example, if we go look back at the last time that this printed back in August, you can see what happened. Bitcoin put in a low, it bounced, it came back down one more time, created that bullish divergence, and then used these lows at 107K to eventually push all the way to an all-time high. The time before that had happened was right back here, whenever Bitcoin's price found this low right at $98,000 before ultimately pushing all the way back up towards that $121,000 level. The time before that was just right here, whenever Bitcoin's price found this bottom right at 75K before sending it towards above $100,000. And the time before that was as Bitcoin's price was starting to drop really fast in this little like 2-week period down to 78K before it reversed all the way to $96,000. And so what you can see is that the last times that this has happened throughout the entire year, these signals have had a very, very good show of, or a good chance of showing when the momentum is starting to shift. And it's not even just this year. You can just go look at how this thing has performed historically. And the likelihood of these things finding bottoms and finding relief after this signal goes off is incredibly high. Now, not all of the pumps that follow these buy strength signals are very, are very big. Some of them are rather small, just like this one. But it has a very high chance of showing when these sorts of reversals may be on the way. Now, one of the best arguments that people will always present against a signal and an indicator like this is that, well, these signals have been going off during bull markets, and so the trend is upwards. And if we're in a bear market right now, this signal will start to print even in times where the market doesn't reverse and it continues lower, because we can get very overextended in a bear market. And that is 100% the case. That is the truth. These sorts of indicators don't perform as well in bear markets in terms of finding exact bottoms and exact local lows, right? That is rather true, and I'm okay with that, but I am still a firm advocate that the bear market's not here yet. I've not been convinced yet. And knowing that we still have all of these liquidations to the top side, $20 billion worth of liquidations above us, I can't imagine that these market manipulators aren't going to go for these liquidations, that they're not going to push the market to say above 110K to start smashing out some of these liquidatable levels, right? And so knowing that I don't believe that we are in a bear market quite yet, I have no reason to believe that this is not a great indicator that we are seeing some strength into the market. Now, does this mean that you should just go all in and you should buy everything you possibly can right now? No, absolutely not. And you can see historically there have been times where this indicator has gone off and the price has still gone down from there. The point is not to say, hey, now is the exact time to buy. Now is the exact time to go all in. No, it just is a warning shot to you like, hey, listen, this thing is starting to show some signs now that a reversal could be on the way. And this is the very first time that it's printed since Bitcoin started dropping last week. And so what I do as a result of seeing this signal isn't just buy and go all in, but more factor that into my thesis and prepare to locate those buy levels if that's what I'm going to do. Now, Conveniently, I did buy a little bit yesterday. As you can see, if you look at yesterday at 5:20 a.m., I did buy some Bitcoin at $103,600. I did buy some ETH at $3,682, which again was just conveniently when this signal went off. That was not intentional, I promise, but that is a good showing for me. Like, okay, those purchases that I made were probably at a good time. And even if Bitcoin's price does continue downwards, it's a sign that the lower we go, the more likely we're becoming to bounce back to the upside, reverse to the upside, and start trying to liquidate some of these whales and some of these massive traders that are back up there. And again, nothing's guaranteed. And truth be told, Bitcoin could just do this. I just don't see that happening. And again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I just don't think that I'm wrong. And seeing these sorts of signals going off in a moment like this gives me further conviction that the lower we are going, the more likely it's becoming that Bitcoin's going to give us some sort of return and smash out some of these liquidation levels, especially when you combine that what's happening from a more macro perspective with the crypto fear and greed index that's sitting right here. I don't even know what it's at. Yeah, 22, nearly in extreme fear, while Bitcoin's still at $107,000. Yeah, it gives me conviction and it gives me confidence that this market is overreacting to what's happening right now. So I just wanted to show you the fact that this signal is going off, and I wanted to show you what's happened historically, because again, this just adds to my thesis that people are overreacting and we easily could get some sort of reversal at some time soon to get these liquidations out the way. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, Bitcoin could fall to 100K. I've even told you Bitcoin could fall to $90,000 before really reversing, because that'll open up the most shorts. So please don't take this as me saying Bitcoin has to pump right now. I'm just saying it's becoming more and more likely the lower we're falling, and that makes me more confident to DCA even if we do fall to those levels. Okay, so I'll keep you updated as all does play out. If you do want to start using this indicator yourself today, you can check out the link down below. It was developed by a good friend of mine, Levi Retfield. He is absolutely fantastic, a great analyst, and you can learn a little bit more information with the link in the description down below. So feel free to go check that out. Don't forget to check out some of the other links in the description down there if you're interested, and I can't wait to see you all in the next update. Peace out, everybody.